everyone, Suutamie here, your local community translator. Today, in this video, we will briefly go over the rumored regional Spritzee concept art leak. I have of course translated it from Japanese into English and shared it on my Twitter. But let's look at it here in a bit more detail. When things like this drop, I always try to translate them into English as fast as possible, and then I upload them onto my Twitter with some basic notes. And then later, when time allows, I'll make a video like this. So if you're not subscribed here yet, or if you're not following my Twitter, be sure to do both so you don't miss out. So with that being said, let's get started. This art was originally sent to me by a follower on Twitter, but at that time I was just finishing editing my last video where we looked at the detailed translations of the recent rumored Free Coco, Paxley and Diglett leaks. If you haven't watched it yet, be sure to check it out in the link below. Additionally, little information on this rumored leak was known at the time, and the source was very vague and unknown. I decided to wait a little while to see if more info would come out before translating, as I was hesitant to translate something with no real known starting point. But before long, it started spreading, so I got to work. Honestly, translating this one took a lot of effort. Usually, when I translate these rumored leak concept art pages, even when the Japanese is bad, I can still figure out mostly what the artist wants to write without too much trouble. But this one had a lot of mistakes in the handwriting, which made it difficult to even do that. There are only 3 pieces of text in this whole page that have 0 issues. Front, pretty simple, 1 character, Mai. Back, once again pretty simple, 1 character, Ushiro. Then somehow this text here ended up pretty much problem-free. We can see here that the Spritzee expels fire when it dances. Now let's move over to the problem areas. Here we have the text that had both me and S-san stumped for a little while. The gen is okay, but the last character is where the guessing work comes in. It looks like it could be ki, de, or te. I lean most toward it probably being ki. If it is, it becomes genki, meaning lively, healthy, or well. There's lots of ways to translate this, but this doesn't make sense in the context of the closest image being the back of the Spritzee. Moving over to this text just above the eye, it's just a bit odd. Additionally, the fact that it's written all in hiragana instead of kanji makes it hard to determine the meaning. Depending on what kanji is used, the meaning can change. If written like this, it can mean enraged, but if like this, it can mean confused. I couldn't decide which the artist intended, so I wrote both. Now, let's look at the text near the dancing image. Once again, there is some weird handwriting here. The second word looks like the first character is probably sa, but it's poorly written. The correct handwriting of sa is like this. Additionally, the fact that it states going from quiet to cooling down doesn't make much sense. Just below the flames, we have the onomatopoeia word, hara hara. Once again, this can have 2 meanings. Onomatopoeia words in Japanese are interesting, as they can also be used to represent feelings. In this case, one possible meaning is the feeling of nervousness, the other being something fluttering down. In Japanese, this word often has a negative connotation. The last text to look at is the text in the fire. I'm assuming it's meant to be something like pa, kind of like the sound of a fire blast. But once again, the Japanese is poorly written, with the su being too big and also backwards. It should be written like this. With all of that being said, I would label this rumored concept art as fake. Considering there are parts that had both me and S-san stumped, even if only for a little while. The Japanese is just not to the level where it would be accepted by Game Freak. However, I do love the actual design. That's all the notes and discussion points we have for this concept art. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative in some way. Please do drop a comment on your thoughts and opinions on this rumored leak. I'd love to hear what you think. Additionally, tell me what you think of a video like this covering only one rumored leak. I was planning to wait for another one to drop so I could combine it together. But since nothing else has come out, I thought I would try doing a solo rumored leak video for once. Would you like more like this where we only focus on one leak? Thanks once again for your support. And with that, it's time to say, Mata ne! See you next time.